They need to know what happened to their loved one.
Rawls County Sheriff Gary Dinwiddie was attending grade school in Hannibal when 46-year-old Clarence Ames was beaten near Perry, Missouri in August 1960. Ames died 13 days later.
Do you remember hearing about this when it happened?
No, I don't. But I have talked to people. I have friends out here in Ross County who went to high school with some of the family, yes. And they have told me about the family being in school and that they remembered the family.
Now 55 years later as Rawls County Sheriff, he's passionate about bringing closure to this unsolved crime.
Apparently he got into altercation with several people in Perry, and the fight ensued, and he was hurt 13 days later on August 16, 1960. And the cause of death was infected pulmonary thoraxis, which was, I understand, crushed larynx or windpipe. He was choked with a pipe.
Perk Pearson was just 13 years old when her father died. The subject was too emotional for her to talk about on camera, but she did provide KHQA with a letter outlining the death of her father in it. In it, she wrote down who she and her family think killed her father. She also wrote, quote, "There was a hearing set. My daddy was dead. I was 13 years old. No one would tell me anything. When I was older and asked questions, my family said Mom's testimony was declared hearsay. No witnesses came forward," end quote. Ames left behind a wife and 6 children. No one was ever arrested in connection to his beating death, and that drives Sheriff Dinwiddie to find answers.
But I think the people and the family have a right to know what actually happened in these cases. The family needs some kind of closure on what happened to their loved ones and family.
He's been limited by the lack of records and evidence surrounding the case. I sifted through microfilm at the Missouri Historical Society and only found 3 news articles about Ames's death: the Perry Enterprise, the Rawls County Record, and the Center Herald. 2 of the articles merely stated that there would be a coroner's inquest about Ames's death. The other article merely reported that he died of internal injuries and that state and county authorities were investigating. Pearson said she's forgiven the persons responsible for killing her father and says she's leaving judgment and punishment to a higher power. But Sheriff Dinwiddie hasn't given up on an earthly judgment and punishment.
Do you think this case will ever be solved?
I think there's a good chance.